Testing 1, 2. Good morning. How are you doing today? This is Bunto, back from a long hiatus. Now I'm a full-time caregiver, and I just want to try to get back in the saddle. I'm going to go ahead and give this video without using a script, so it might be a little scrambled eggs. Just going to be using a cup of coffee. Let me see, in a notepad. What I'd like to do in this video is explain how I highlight on Android. Just what I've been doing now for about 2 years, how I do my own highlighting tips for a newbie or somebody who's just starting to use Android. I'm using Logos software, the Logos Bible software. So let's jump right in, huh? Okay, here's the first example. And at the end of this video, towards the end, I'm going to go ahead and give the types of highlighting, because there's various types of highlighting styles that you can use. I'll give those at the end. So just sort of flow with me on the stream of consciousness, how I'm going here. All right, the first page, here we go. The first type of highlight are called call-outs. I call call-out highlighting. It's just stuff that jumps out. You highlight with the outline text. In this case, it's the orange outline. And since I'm white on black, white text on black, the colors are off. So when I say orange highlight, I really do mean blue outline. So, for example, number 18. For since he himself suffered when he was tempted, he is able to help those who are tempted. Those are call out. It jumped out at me. Number 3, for he has come to deserve greater glory than Moses, just as the builder of the house deserves greater honor than the house itself. Now, for call-outs, you can go ahead and, you don't have to start them at the beginning of the numbered verse. You can, anything that jumps out, like right in the middle of the line, you can just highlight it out. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Is, you do the call-outs, and then there's something called, what I call context, the context highlighting. So, you start going through your study of a Bible. In this case, we're using the Net Bible, my study, a study Bible. I like the Net. And so, you do a bunch of call-outs, and then you see the context, that the author's speaking in. So you just highlight that with the orange foreground. For example, like here at 12, see to it, brothers, that was a call-out. And 14, for we have become partners with Christ. And then I highlighted both of those things, 12 all the way to the end of 15 with the orange. So there's like a context highlight, but exhort one another each day, as long as it's called, that's in the context, right? So that's what I call a context highlight. Then let's go on to the next one. And this was interesting. This is, important, I think. It's like, you see over here the red highlight. It's all red. Sacrifice and offering you did not desire, but a body you prepared for me. Now, what the red highlight means in my mind, and it's red, both on white and nighttime mode, is that's like stop the music, drop dead important, teaching that you're going to get out of the book, something that's very important, the high end. So whole burnt offerings and sin offerings, you took them to light, and then I said, here I am, have come. So, that's something that, if you're doing study or talking to somebody, something that you would has great importance, like for the book of Hebrews. So I pull it out, highlight it with the red. And as you can see on this page, we have other context and call-outs. Call-out, and just as people were appointed as die one, and then you just highlighted it. Usually at the end, it was really interesting. You see how 10 here, for the law, usually at the end of these verse numbers, at the chapters, you usually have a call-out. They put a punch right at the end of the chapter, and that's usually a call-out. And then, for the law possesses, call out all the way to he said is a context. Sometimes, no, let me go to the next page. As you can see in the next page here, you're going to have, you have the red, stop the music, red, 28. Someone who has rejected the law of Moses, but it's orange because, it was in the context. I have that sometimes. If it's something, the vital one, if it's within context, I'll go ahead and highlight it with the context highlight. But like the one that we had before, it was just stands out on its own, sacrifice and offering. Let's go to the next one. This one's interesting here. You can see we have the call-outs, right? In a son whom he appointed heir of all things. That's right in the middle, call-out, but it's in blue, okay? Now, the way this works is blue is of like secondary. It's like call-out number, it's context highlight number 2 of importance, and like for an example, usually I do the main studying with the net. So, the net's going to have a lot of orange context highlighting, to tie all the callouts together. But in other Bibles, I use the AMP, and I also use the NCV, just because I want to read the thing first, the chapter. So you'll find a lot of blue context in that. It's sort of like, secondary importance. You can also find, like in this case, the net, it's like secondary importance context highlighting. Okay. And then you over here look on the other side. You are my son. Today I have fathered you. You can see that that's a standalone call out. Okay, let's go one more page. All right, this is really interesting. Interesting highlight. Okay, listen. Now faith is the substance of things to be hoped for. That's the big money line, money quote in Hebrews. And the green highlight means pretty or poetic in my mind. Like I use the Douay Rheims, the draw, so that's, a very poetic Bible. I highlight in green because, sometimes you're sending a letter to somebody or you're talking with somebody, comments, and you want to, pull out the prettiest verse. The prettiest verse, not like the study Bible verse of it, but the prettiest verse in your thinking. So you can just go through your pretty verse Bible or whatever one you want, authorized version, so forth. And then, look for the green. Look for the money quotes that way and then put that. So green means pretty. And okay, so the last page, how do all these things work? Okay, since I like to use white on black, nighttime mode, white text, the colors aren't exactly right. They're off, but it's easy to figure out. Okay, the first one, recent dots, purple foreground. That is the green when you use that on nighttime mode. That's green highlight. And then blue foreground, that's orange. Now the orange outline, that's all the call outs. That's usually going to be, for my black, it's going to be a bluish outline, it stands out. So even though it says orange outline, it comes out blue. And then red highlighter, that's the same, between white and, day mode and night mode. Red highlight is always red highlight. And red highlight is for, vital importance, stop the music highlights. And then orange foreground, that's the blue, secondary context highlight. So we have purple is green, blue is orange. Orange outline is blue outline, blue tinted outline. Red highlighter is red all the way through. And orange foreground is the blue text. So that's, pretty much what I use for highlighting. Just so sort of my methodology for it. Yes, there's one thing that I wanted to cover, one last thing. Now, I only have another Android Logos video that shows you how to, highlight across a page break. But what really interesting is now they've done is kind of even better than Kindle, is that you can use 2-finger dragging on your screen. Let's say that you have a chapter that breaks over a page break, and you want to highlight, you want to do a context highlight, let's say of that chapter. You can use 2 fingers to drag up your screen, and then the text will move too. So just try that and experiment using 2 fingers on your screen, and you'll see what I mean. You can drag the text up and down, so you can sync it up exactly, how you want to highlight it. Well, I hope this is helpful for you, and I'll try to get back in the saddle here with my videos. Hey, have a good day, huh? Take care.
There's no stopping what can't be stopped. No killing what can't be killed.
Something out there waiting for us.